from News Moment English.
And I am Sandila Misra. Today we're going to talk about traditional education and digital education in this pandemic.
So please introduce yourself.
Nilanshu Roy. I am a teacher of School of Competition and I am the English teacher over there, and I take basically classes from class 6 to class 10.
So we are going to ask you some questions. Our first question is, can you guess the difference between the traditional and the digital education?
See, before starting this question, I want to say a few words that in English there is a saying that the more we learn, the more we come to know about the ignorance. Education is something which draws a person from darkness to light. And education is a very important thing because the more we are educated, we can distinguish between the good and the bad things, which is correct and which is not. According to me, traditional education is something which the Indian students follow. Not only follow, according to my knowledge, 80% of the students are used to it. For example, we are habituated. From our childhood, we get up early, we go for school, meet our teachers, do our studies over there. It's a normal routine over there. There is nothing new to learn. In traditional education, we get live classes, we can interact with each other, we can meet with our friends, we can see the blackboard, we can interact with the teachers. If you have any problem, then we can ask the teachers over there. We can do so many activities, like we can have the quiz competition, the debate competition over there, we can have the annual function, annual sports, lots of things to do over there. But when we are coming for online classes, we are bound in a certain thing. The online classes over there, most of us, first of all, we miss our friends over there. We cannot interact live with the teachers over there, and we do not know that when to ask questions. Sometimes there is an internet problem. So the atmosphere in the school when we are having the live class is totally different when we are doing online classes.
For the traditional education more.
Definitely, I am always for traditional education because having live classes and having interaction with the teachers is much better, because the teacher and the faculties, the teaching staff can explain on the blackboard, we can see together, and if you have any doubt at once we can ask the teacher and clear our doubts over there.
Digital education, we get world-class education, like we can be taught from the teachers worldwide. Like some great teachers can teach us through vast people together, vast number of students at one point of time.
This is a very good question which he has asked, but we have to remember one thing, that in order to start anything, we have to have the knowledge, we have to have the practice over there. As I have said before, that 80% or 70% of the Indian students are habituated for traditional education. And if we directly go for online, then there may be certain type of problem. Online education, what I would suggest, is not bad at all. It is very good because we have to go according to the global education. For example, if anybody is staying in far off places or internationally, then he or she can go for online classes. But the thing is that we are not habituated for that. We need some time to know how to use the app, how to install it, how we can set the audio, how we can set the video, how to interact with the teachers and other students over there. Definitely online classes is very good because it helps us and gives us an idea to connect globally. See, because in this global world, we have to compare with the first gate countries like UK, US, Australia, where most of the teachings are done in online, because over there the students or the parents do not have enough time. So online classes are available over there.
Basically, the network is good over there.
The network is good over there. Online classes is also good. We can do our correspondence education. Okay, so it is good. But according to me, we need some time for that.
Like in education like that.
Yes, India is not very, regarding this fact, what I would like to say, Indian students are very much smart. But the thing is that we are not habituated or used to it. Once we get habituated and used to it, I think the Indian students can be very much expert on that.
How much time do you think that being habituated to it will take?
See, online classes was there before, but the percentage was very less. Now there is a saying that necessity is the mother of invention. Now I hope, according to my knowledge, the lockdown in India has started from the month of April when we were doing our final examination. So if we look back, it has only been 3 to 4 months that we are going for online classes, and so far the result is not that bad. Students can learn more things. They can know what is online class, how to interact with the teachers, how to install the app, how many apps are there by which we can do our education. So students are getting used to it slowly but steadily. We do not need to hurry. Now, using these online classes, the benefit is that we are not going to school. In the future, if we are having a good opportunity, internationally and nationally, we can connect with the international teachers and international students. Now this is, we can say that this is our practice period. Now in this period, if we are habituated, if we are practiced in these online classes, then in the near future, I think the student is going to have a very good time.
So my second question is, which type of education is suitable for the Indian students?
See, right now, due to this pandemic situation, I prefer the online education because going to school is not safe at all. See, the first reason is that in offices or in any other places, you will have a gathering for maximum 20 to 30 people, but not more than that. But in a school, you can say at least 5 to 600 students are sitting together. So God help us, if somebody or the other is having the disease, it can spread all over the school, it can affect the students. So I think it is better for the time being, until and unless this pandemic situation is getting cured, I think online is much better. But I think that traditional education is much more better. Better in my opinion, that in online, except for education, we can't spread ourselves, we cannot develop ourselves, because if there is some annual sports, annual function, debate competition, quiz competition is over there, then we cannot show to other people that what we are capable of. So over there the student can lack the opportunity. So according to me, online, I would never say that online is bad, but traditional education is the thing which I prefer.
My third question is, most of the students in India come from poor family. How digital education can be beneficial for the students?
Now see, India is a country where education has been given a very high respect over there. Now Indian students, you can say today, are spread globally. Some are studying in Oxford, some are studying in Cambridge, some are studying in Harvard, and many other reputed ones. So according to me, education has no boundary. It cannot distinguish between the rich and the poor. Now for example, a student who cannot afford to buy an Android phone, we have the facility of the WhatsApp. If he cannot join the online classes because he do not have the Android phone, the 4G phone what we are using today, there are two options. First, that student can go to his friend's house and do the classes which the teachers are doing online. Second, the notes are sent, the materials are sent by the teachers through WhatsApp. In that way, the student can cooperate with the other students and the teachers, and his education, his class can go on.
So, but WhatsApp do require 4G network.
See, according to me, the present mobile, okay, which are using the Geo one, the small Geo one, it supports WhatsApp. And in some cases, I think no matter how poor the people are, how poor the students are, today each and everybody, most you can say 80 to 85% of the people, if they are not having 4G, they are having 3G, and I think 3G supports the WhatsApp. So in this way, they can follow the WhatsApp and copy down their notes, and they can go with the simple education what is going on every day given by the teachers.
So, do you think the only notes can help them?
See, notes cannot only help them, it is quite right, but you have to see the situation. According to the pandemic situation we are going through, the government is bringing certain changes in education. The government is decreasing the course, the government is decreasing the syllabus over there. The government has been very much familiar and lenient regarding the pass percentage. Now, this is because we are going through this situation. Because as I have said before, that necessity is the mother of invention. Before 3 to 4 months, we were not aware of the online classes. Even I am doing online classes now. I was not aware of that, but I am gradually coming to know about it. So, according to the situation, we have to go through and we have to move forward, because education is certain thing we cannot stop. It must go on.
But for that geophone is very difficult to use for the study. How can the children use it?
See, definitely, which is not in our hand, we cannot help out. Yes, there is certain times that a network problem, but we are human beings, we are not a machine. So regarding that case, there are some excuses. First of all, I would like to say that basically what I do, I give my personal number, okay, to my students. So whenever if they are having problem in the online classes, when they are live with me, when I take classes, or if they are not getting notes, if they are not able to connect in the internet, then they can call me, okay. But there are certain limitation. I have said that from morning 8 to 12 and from evening 6 to 8 they can call me, and if they are having any type of problem, any type of situation is arising regarding education, I can help them out. So I have given them three options. First, I have doing the online classes. Second, those who are not able to do the online classes, I am sending the materials, the study materials in the WhatsApp, and after that if they are not able to understand, they can contact me, but in a certain time, not each and every time.
My fourth question is, will the effort of Indian government to digitalize education be successful, or it will be create a huge gap between the poor and the rich?
The government has always supported the education as far as India has concerned. If we take the time that when India got independent, and if you see the present moment, the graph of education has just gone up, it has never gone down. Education is increasing day by day, literacy is increasing day by day as far as our nation is concerned. Now, money can never bring any type of, any money can never bring any type of blockage as far as education is concerned. I want to give a simple example over here. If we look at a great leaders, okay, like APJ Abdul Kalam, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, they are the great personalities throughout the world. And India is a country where we can see most of the Nobel laureates. Now, if we see at the future, if we see at the past, if we look at the history, most of the people, those who are holding high position, those who have got the Nobel Prize, those who have invented, those who have become scientists, they also belong from a very poor family. They used to stay in a village, they used to do farming, but they got the education. Now, over here, we have to know about the fact that it does not matter for anybody what type of school they are studying, at a government school or private school. The thing which depends is the mentality of the student. What mentality they are studying over there and for what mentality they are going for. Today, the government has started the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which is education which is free for all. Means from the age from KG to class 8, means up to 14 years, everybody should get free and fair education without any distinction, regardless thereof their color, caste, sex and pride. So the government has always supported the students so that they can be educated. And today, no doubt, we can say there are many universities in India where the students are getting proper education. It doesn't look whether they are coming from a poor family or a rich family. Now, what will happen? If a rich student is having a mobile, he can misuse it. Similarly, if a poor boy is having a mobile, he can play video game also. So, rich and the poor does not comes over here. The total thing which depends upon the mentality of the student and how they utilize their method of education.
But government's budgetary support is always decreasing in the field of education. How they can support it?
See, definitely it depends upon the government. It should be the initiative. See, what is the plan of the government? As a simple teacher, I cannot express the view of the government. But the government should look that education should be much more standardized. Education should be something which should be put in a certain level so that we can nationally as internationally we can compete it. In the field of science and technology, we can see the Indian students are working in abroad countries like US, UK, Canada and Australia. And not only that, they are holding a very high position. So in this way, we can say that education is very good in India and India is increasing day by day. If the education system was not good, then why countries like UK, why countries like Canada, USA, England will put up the BPO and IT sectors over here? Definitely we have got some talents over here among the students. That's why India is a country which is flourishing in IT industry. And as sir has said, definitely the government should look that what the present situation about the education system is, we have to improve. The government should see what standard, what can be done, what budget can be put upon so that education system should be much higher. Not only in the towns and the big cities, in the metros, but the students which are studying in the village, what proper education they can also get in order to flourish their life and make a bright future.
So don't you think our bright minds of India are going out of our country to work for other countries and flourish their future rather than flourishing our future? Then the government should look at this matter.
Definitely, see, this is the thing which is not started today and tomorrow or yesterday. This mentality has been in most of us that we should need a better future. Now, in the European countries, what we see, what they see, basically we study, we learn in order to get a good job. Everybody wants a luxurious and fabulous life. And in European countries, what we get a better standard of life, better standard of living, and a better future, which everybody looks for. Now it depends upon the mentality of the student. If they are getting a better job, they are getting a handsome salary, if they are getting a better future, then they can go for it. Yes, one thing is for sure that they are getting education over here, but they are serving the other nation. But it does not support each and everybody's mentality over here. The example is that we have great scientists like APJ Abdul Kalam, we have Jagadish Chandra Bose, we have many other more scientists. They are very well-renowned person of our country, but they are still in India. They are making the name of our motherland high to the highest. So it depends upon, say, if 100 students are passing out through the year, 10 to 20% is going abroad, and many of us staying living over here. The simple reason is that they have to look after their family, they have to look after their motherland. And one thing is that until and unless we have love for our motherland, if until and unless we love our motherlands, until and unless we have the feeling that every Indian are our fellow brothers and fellow sister, and whatever we want to do, we have to do for our motherland, because we have born over here, we have got the fresh air, we have got the food, the water, whatever needed. So whatever labor I am going to provide, I am going to provide for my country, and let us see that working together, how can our country move forward.
But like you said, sir, that everybody wants a handsome life and a good standard of living. They're not getting it in India. Then how can not everybody have that mentality to stay in India? And means everybody have different kinds of talents. Here, we cannot show our talents over here because of the lack of education system, I might say, or lack of the government, because it doesn't provide certain amount. They do not appreciate what we are, like most of the scientific things in India are not that capable. Like you have seen that for Chandrayaan it was $70 million was given just for the Chandrayaan, whereas $100 million was used in a film like Martian, for a film, just a film. So why would a student waste their knowledge over here because there's nothing availability of what we want? Like everybody have certain kind of everybody wants to achieve something in their life. So that's why they work for other countries rather than this. So don't you think that government should look in this matter, that they should enhance their capability, or they should enhance their entrepreneurship and create companies?
Okay, this is a very nice question. Now, the question you has asked me, I want to say two things. Now, if my parents are poor and you can say I am getting a very handsome salary now, so should I leave my parents? Should I look at my history that when I was young, I was not getting my food, I was not getting proper shelter, I was not getting proper education, should I leave my mother and father? No. As I've said before also, that a person should have attachment with his country and towards his family. It is money which does not matter. See, science can go much ahead. A country can be financially very strong, but it cannot go beyond nature and it cannot go beyond relationship. One simple example I want to give over here, which everybody is aware of. Italy is a country which comes second position as far as medicine is concerned. Is Italy able to invent the medicine of coronavirus? No. US, UK, they are having very top universities like Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford. Are their scientists, are their professors able to invent the medicine of coronavirus? No. So it does not mean a country which is financially and economically very strong that we have to go over there, or it is giving very high education. It is not like that. Think it is the other way. Why the European country is calling us? Because over here they think the students are much more talented. The students are much more talented. They are getting proper education over here. What the company requires, the students are deserving. So that's why they are hiring them. No company is like a fool that they will hire simply a candidate paying their airfare, paying for their passport, paying for their fooding and lodging over there. Definitely over here the education system is in such a way that the foreign companies are coming themselves and hiring them. Secondly, yes, finance or money which we are getting from the government or from the private sector is very less. But what I say that we have to live for our country. Think of the army men. When they are fighting in Siachen, it is minus 40 degrees. The army men who are patrolling the Rajasthan border, the temperature are rising 50 degrees. So when we look over them, what they are doing their job, they are doing for their motherland. They also have their family, they also have their brother and sister. If they want, they can quit the job and do some government job. But why are they not quitting? Because they love their motherland. They want to do something for their motherland. And any type of businessman or any, you can say, a person who is in a very high position, they are getting very high salary than the army men or any armed forces. But they are not leaving their job. Why doing the job? Because they have attachment towards the country, towards the motherland. So each and every time we cannot look at our finance, we cannot look at our salary. Yes, I agree with the fact that the salary which our government, our private sector, which we are getting over here is much low as compared to the European or the foreign countries. That's why some of the students, some of the, you can say, the individuals are going to work. But we have to see in our country also. We have to be loyal towards our country also, because this is a motherland. We are born over here. Definitely we can go to another country, we can work over there, we can return back. We can make our country rich. But getting education over here, getting proper work over here, and after that we are saying something about our motherland, then it is, I think, a very shameful thing for a person, no matter how educated or how highly qualified he or she is.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views to our viewers.
Thank you. It was my pleasure talking with you also.